This is what I used, this frame here, to take all of the photos that I'm about to talk about for reference. This is what I use to make my videos, and now I'll switch over to this frame and a little tripod that I have. These are all the CDs I just photographed to be listed on eBay. Hey guys, I'm Andrew from 510 Books. It is Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. It is midday, a little bit before 1 p.m. I'm in my warehouse. Because I spent part of Monday restocking my store and preparing for this week, I have been able to do a lot of other stuff instead of leaving it till the end, which usually I would do on Thursday. So because I got through that really initially in the week and whatnot, I've been able to do a lot of other things, like photograph items that I've had here in the warehouse that need to be listed on eBay. So this box of CDs is mostly from my last Gaylord purchase, as well as I had a big donation of CDs, 3 boxes that I talked about for a while, a couple weeks ago, that turned out to be a lot of punk rock CDs, as well as just general rock and indie rock, alt rock, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of punk rock and some heavy metal type of stuff, hard rock stuff that is higher priced that I'm going to list on eBay. So there was that, and there was from the Gaylord, and there was some other stuff in there from trades and local buys, etc. But a banker's box like this usually holds, let's count it up. So I counted about 40. There's about 40 in each row. So about 160-ish CDs. There's some that are in digipack, so they're thinner. There's some doubles. So let's say about 150-ish CDs. And I photographed them. I looked at the timestamps on the photos, and I photographed all of them for eBay in 1 hour and 15 minutes, which I am happy with. And I was flying through them. And in the next, 2-3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, all these will be listed because, as you may have been seeing in my other videos, I am still listing those CD lots because I list at home usually in the afternoon after I picked up my kids. So I've been working through that. I'm going to go home now, list for about an hour, try to get through all the CD lots. If I can't, I will continue to do that next week. And then I have VHS tapes, DVDs, and now the CDs. So tomorrow, being Friday, the first day of my sale for this week, I am going to, the time that I have here, which often happens sporadically throughout the day, to list when people are not here or they're browsing or whatever. I tend to try to keep busy, and aside from helping people and bringing them up and asking their questions and all that kind of stuff, I list on eBay. So I use this table to list, and tomorrow I will be tackling books. So I have 3 boxes of books to list. So I'm going to just start that process. We'll see through this weekend of my sale how much I get through, or how much of that I get through. So ideally I'll get through a lot of it, so that I don't then have to go through the process, which is fine, of what I've been doing of photographing here, taking it home, listing it. So I'll utilize that time, sort of like double the efforts. That my store is open, but I'm also listing on eBay. All that stuff's going to go live. I'm not going to save it or anything like that to drafts. So it's all going to go live. And I think I have some good books in here to list as well. So 1 hour and 15 minutes to list to photograph all these. And then I will, what I'll do is I'll take these home, put in my garage along with my DVDs and VHS tapes I've already photographed, put all the photos on my laptop. And then I'll just slowly work my way through everything, which is what I've done in the past. I prefer to list on the computer. Of course, when I'm in my sale, I'm listing on my phone, which is fine. It's convenient. But instead of using my thumbs, I prefer to use my hands to type. It's much faster for me, I understand some of you are thumb wizards, but for me, it's much faster. I can look things up much quicker if I have to look something up on Discogs or do a quick little research or whatever it is. Typically, I don't have to do that much, but if I do, I can just do it really quickly versus it taking longer on the phone, toggling between things. I know you can pull up the app and all that, but everything's just faster on the computer for me. And I assume for a lot of people as well. But I understand the convenience of the phone, et cetera, et cetera. And I do list on the phone when I'm here during my sale. And occasionally I'll do it if I just get something in. Like yesterday, there was this CD set that I picked up. Not yesterday, the day before. And I just, about Stephen Sondheim CD set is worth some money. So I just listed it here on my phone. And yeah, we'll see when it sells. But so that's what I did part of the day. Also, I went to, okay, so, oh right, the other thing I wanted to mention before I get off the whole listing on eBay thing is I know a lot of people believe or feel that they have proof of activity on eBay having something to do with how many sales you get. And who knows if that's true. What I mean by activity, I mean listing new items. So I've heard that for years, and I've tried to follow along and try to do it and test and all that. And I've just decided at this point that, you know, people have said, oh, I list, or I create drafts, or I create listings, and then I put them in drafts and then save them. And so every day I just make those have those drafts go live. So eBay's always seeing me doing something. I did that for a while, and guess what? Made no difference. Didn't matter whether I listed one thing, 10 things, 20 things, 30 things, nothing. The sales didn't change. It wasn't like, oh, for 10 days in a row. I remember I was like, oh, 2 weeks in a row, every single day I've at least listed something on eBay, where I've at least listed 3 or 5 items, let's say. I had a minimum that I would list, but it didn't make a difference. So I'm going to abandon that whole theory, and I know a lot of you believe in it, and that's fine. But when I list something, I'm just going to have it go live. I'm not even going to put it in drafts, unless it's an auction. That's different. But for buy it now items, which are most of my items, which are going to be all of these individual items, they're just going to go live. Because what I've found is, so when I list things, guess what? Some of those things sell right away. If I don't list it, it's not going to sell. But if I list it, it might not sell. But again, you know, without it being live, without the eBay world community seeing it, there's no chance of it selling. So I would rather just list it. Some things take longer to sell. Some things take weeks, months. Sometimes, you know, I've been selling things lately that I listed over a year ago, that I listed 2 years ago, sometimes 3 years ago. Those things still sell without me doing anything to promote them or change anything in the listing. And that's just how I look at it. You just build your inventory. I've been around 1,300 for a while, and I'm finding that I've crept up to like 1,330, 40, and now I'm back down to like 1,302, the amount of items in my inventory. So what I'm seeing is the more that I list, not because of activity, just because they're going live, people are seeing them and they're buying them, the more my inventory stays at the same level. So that's my 2 cents. Hold on one second. And remember I told you that I had picked up a bunch of manga books and what are they called? Graphic novels. Well, here they are. Some mangas here and graphic novels. Got graphic novels there, some manga there. Over here, The Walking Dead, etc. Got a good amount of them. These as well. Zachary Holmes, Case 1, The Monster. Oh, yeah. It's hard to do this with one hand. So I believe that is technically a graphic novel. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not a comic book. It's not manga. It's just, it looks like a kid's book. It's big. Oh, there's even a couple of comic books, which I know nothing about. There's Dark Tangent. #1. I have not looked that up. Wouldn't that be fun if it was worth money? Like a lot of money, but who knows. Detective Comics, #38. And then I've got the Amazing Spider-Man Marvel. What is that, 301? I guess, is that number 301? I don't know. So I like to find comic books as well because I do have people that come in and ask me if I have any, and I don't have very many. So I would say those are the three biggest, book-wise, the three biggest categories I want to grow are comic books, manga books, and graphic novels. Those are all very popular these days. Yeah, I would say those are probably three of the biggest ones. Anyway, so I picked those up. That was great. Love it. And then today, you know what else I did briefly is I was down at the bookstore preparing shipments, a couple of things that sold on eBay and Amazon. And then afterwards, I went to a local thrift store that I used to go to a lot, like 4 years ago, pre-pandemic. I was probably going there, I don't know if it was every week, but multiple times a month. They used to be really good for books, as well as CDs and some VHS tapes. And last time I was there, well, last couple of times, they had really cut down their book section, just got rid of where it was, and then they had a very tiny section. They put a bunch of purses up. Anyway, I went back, and the book section is back where it was, as large as it was. Didn't find anything, though. Just skimmed it and scanned a few things. Just wanted to see. You never know. And then I looked around. I couldn't find any CDs. They had a DVD section. Everything was only $1. Well, there were some that were higher. But I also looked at the records, which are only 99 cents a piece. And I got 2 records that I'm going to sell at my local sale. This one called Voyage Fly Away, which is 70s. I believe it's disco. And then good old Rod Stewart. These are not, big money records, but got them for 99 cents. I'll sell them for $3 in my store. I just like to have variety, just put out new stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to see the old haunt that I used to go to. It was one of probably a handful, maybe like half a dozen that I would kind of rotate around when I was doing thrift stores a lot. Again, this was before I get into bulk, before I got into Gaylords, before I got into even had my storage unit, and then I found this place back in the end of 2019. So memory lane a little bit. Definitely, I don't know how a reseller could go in there and make any money. A book reseller or media reseller, there's just nothing in there. The other problem is the fees are so much higher with Amazon FBA and Merchant Fulfilled that a couple of books that I found that would be good to sell, that have a great rank, that are selling a little bit higher in terms of the FBA price, they're too expensive in the store. I had to spend like $2 on one of the books, and there's no profit left. If the book was, if it was a donation, I would totally send it in. If I got it for a quarter at 50 cents, maybe I'd send it in, but there just wasn't any money there. Not to say that other thrift stores don't have some higher value books, but even spending $1 to $3 on a book, you're gonna really, doing FBA, you're really gonna need a higher priced book, probably going for at least $15 to $20. Depending, of course, it depends on the size of the book, the weight of it, the dimensions. It depends on a lot of other things like everything else that goes into it. But in terms of just the price of it, the cost, or the how much the fees would be, how much your potential profit would be when you factor in your cost of goods, how much you're spending on the individual book. Yeah, you're going to need some higher priced books for sure. Which is why a lot of stuff I send in is donations, or it's mixed in with a bulk buy, and so the price is low for that individual item, whether it's a CD or a book. Another reason I like CDs is you can sell a $10 CD. I sell $9.99 CDs. I send them in and sell them, and I make $3 and change, $3 to $4 depending, and because there's still enough profit in there because they're small. They don't weigh anything. Versus a book, you're not going to make any money off of a $9.99 book, even a tiny book. It's going to be tough unless it's a very thin book. So that's a couple of my thoughts. I am going to go home now and start to list. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content where I talk about reselling, whether it's CDs, whether it's books, whether it's records, whether it's comic books, reselling all of those types of items and other media, such as video games, such as DVDs, such as Blu-rays, on eBay as well as on Amazon, and even locally in my store, then definitely subscribe to my channel. Those are the kind of things I talk about. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.